Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis 4, where we are playing as the Knights. Now, usually this series would be on a Friday, but because we're so near the end, sorry, on Saturday, but because we are so near the end of the game, I thought that I would just get this one essentially polished off today so that I can launch into the new series, which is going to be the Poland game. It's either going to be tonight or I'll start that one on Saturday. Kind of depends how long this one takes. I am absolutely bleeding exhausted because I got about 5 hours of sleep, so we'll see if we do actually start it today. But I wanted to get this one done because I don't foresee there being a huge amount going on. This is mostly just to kind of try and maintain as much of the status quo as we can at this point without building ourselves even more, because we want the other AI factions to be strong, because I do intend to convert this over to Victoria. However, I was actually looking at the Victoria conversion thing, and apparently that hasn't been updated for rural Britannia. The last one that they did was Cradle of Civilization. So fingers crossed that that's actually going to be possible, but that is absolutely my intention, is to do that. So, what's been going on? Let's just go ahead and unpause. We have, as you can see, expanded somewhat. We took on Hungary and took a bunch of the Hungarian territories, so that our land in the Balkans are now actually unified. We've taken a little bit of North Africa, we've taken a little bit of Egypt, and that's about it. The Ottomans are a shadow of their former selves, though they are still alive. Hungary has grown pretty strong. Prussia, France, both strong. Denmark's come back out of nowhere. One of the most interesting things is Russia never formed, so much of Siberia is uncolonized and will probably remain that way, because it doesn't look like any of the other colonials have really gone for Siberia, which is weird, because very often you do get England or Spain or somebody like that showing up over here, but that's just not happened. Ming's still doing Ming's actually in Japan, which is kind of dangerous for Japan because they have a landing zone already. We have a very strong Bahmanis in India, so with their huge population they're going to be really quite potent, especially as they have managed to keep up technologically. Persia is doing solidly over there. Kilwa's taken on in Africa, same as Ethiopia. Oh yeah, we took the Congo. I'd forgotten about that. So the Knights do actually have an entry into Africa itself. That's basically the last thing that we did. That was primarily so I could control some of the trade coming out of there. And also I noticed that there are a bunch of slave provinces. I didn't want the slave stuff because I actually abolished slavery as soon as I could. And those slave provinces switched to actually really, really good stuff for us. So we've got spices, we've got tropical wood, which in Victoria is hugely valuable, and also ivory, and plus some metals over here, which is actually what I was mostly after. Meanwhile, in the Americas, we've got Guarani, which is the former Portuguese colony that split off and has been taking massive liberties with the other South American nations. We've got the Dutch in Colombia and Brazil, French in Peru. Mexico is still a bit messy. We've got New Castile plus English Mexico. It actually looks like the English are going to be pretty dominant over there. Vinland. Vinland is still alive thanks to Norway, which has not been subsumed by Denmark. And in fact, Norway in the previous episode managed to inherit Scotland. So all of the Scottish stuff has also gone to Norway. Oh no, Scotland's in Greenland. They actually just took it. They took the whole of Scotland and Ireland from Scotland and banished them to Greenland. Okay, that's even more hilarious. I thought they just inherited them or something. But no, apparently not. The many jobs of a soldier, prolonged peacetime, and changes to the economy have led to many of our salaried soldiers no longer considering the pensions we pay them sufficient. An increasing number of them have turned to other daily work, such as shopkeeping or craftsmanship, earning a better living in the city homes. While this can stimulate the local economy, it does mean that these troopers are no longer maintaining or practicing with the equipment we have provided them. In order to stop this trend, we would have to increase their pay substantially, so we pay them 3,800 ducats or lose a bunch of professionalism. I'm trying to build up my professionalism at the moment, so we'll pay you. No, we have money, it's fine. My income is actually pretty darn good right now because we are dominating the trade in Genoa. And in fact, with France fighting against England, this is going to be a hugely influential war, especially for Victoria, because the navies will transfer across. And these are two of the largest navies in the world fighting each other right now, because we've got the English and the French versus... Sorry, the English and the Dutch versus the French. Am I going to attack the colonial powers and steal the colonies? Nope. I have no intention of doing so. My intention was to become a dominant power in the Mediterranean. I feel I've achieved that. And it was also to humble, I guess would be the right word, the Ottomans, which, again, I feel like I've done. So I don't really want the balance of power changing anymore. One of the most dangerous things that you can do prior to going to Victoria is stopping at a certain point and then just like building and buying everything and just basically snowballing hugely towards the end. Don't do that. You kind of want to have some kind of limitation set on yourself. Like at the moment, yeah, my army is huge. My navy is huge. I could easily like invade Hungary again, take a bunch of their territory, or wipe out the Ottomans. But that's just making me even stronger. And then that's going to make Victoria very boring. Like you want that balance of power. That's what makes Victoria interesting. Just going through chat here. Yeah, it's still bloody hot here as well. Yeah, I thought I was right about that, Marshall. Strong Norway, that's exciting. Yeah, that is a really good Norway. I'm very happy with how Norway is done, actually. Yeah, the next Attila game is going to be Saturday. Oh, and Friday, you're right. And seriously, Darach, the best place that you can look is here on Discord. That's where I keep the most updated ones. You can find it in the info channel, you can find it in the announcements channel. It's not the type of thing I hide. And also, thank you very much for the follow. And also, Vectron and Mato Torpar. Thank you all very much. Can I show you the culture map mode? I do believe that can be done. Like, I'll probably, at the end, someone shout at me if I forget to do this. I'll probably show all the map modes and things at the end of the actual game. Because a lot of people ask me to do that in the YouTube comments, and I always forget. And by then, it's too late. Culture. Here we go. Oh, I've done nothing with culture. Like, all the cultures are just as they were for me. We've actually got a very multicultural nation, as you can in fact see. Crikey. In fact, I should probably accept Egyptian. Maybe get rid of, like, Ligurian. In fact, that would actually be a very good option. So cost 87. Diplo. I have a lot of Diplo. So we're going to take you. We're going to get rid of Ligurian. We're going to take Lombard instead. That'll do. Like, Turkish is accepted, but it's still fairly low. But that's kind of planning for the eventuality of taking on more Turkish territory in the future, so we kind of want to keep that. We can also start to grab another level 3 advisor, so we can keep those monarch points rolling in. Marvellous. Does EU4 have a timeline thingy like the end of Civ games? Yeah. Not something I've ever used, and I really ought to. Canals and turnpikes. Bad roads have long been a limiting factor of economic growth in the Donji Kraji, severely hampering the transfer of goods, people and capital. Looking to other areas, local entrepreneurs have begun to introduce toll roads to pay for maintenance, and there are far-gone plans of building transportation canals to further ease the flow of local goods. So we can spend almost 3,000 ducats, which would actually force me to take a loan, and we would get 2 development and also a bunch of cheaper development and movement speed until the end of the game in Croatia. The whole of Croatia. Interesting. I mean, I would have liked you to have done that when I had a little bit more money. I'll do it. I'll take a loan. I should be able to repay that loan in less than a year. So, we're all good. Right. Tea supplies. That's what I need to do. Oh, and the other thing I should probably check is to see who exactly my allies are right now. Because I'm fairly sure it's still France, Castile, and the Pope. Oh, war. France is calling me in against England and Holland. They want my navy. Actually, my navy is mostly galleys. I'm not too sure how much help I'm going to be here. I'm surprised France is calling me in on this. I'm more surprised that they didn't call me in earlier, if this was actually a defensive war for them. The French Austrian imperialist war against Austria This is a war they have started. So it's a war they started and are now losing. And we need new Austria have accepted peace with the Papal States. So the Papal States peaced out. Now, we have already completely humiliated Austria in a war. So I'm pretty confident that we can do that again. And we need an heir. You know what? We can go for the Merchant Son. My devotion is 100. Unfortunately, the Merchant Sons do tend to be a bit rubbish. And that's going to mean that I can repay that loan immediately. Am I still able to effectively raid? Not really worth it anymore. It's like every 5 years and I'll earn maybe 100 ducats because most of the coast is mine. Like, it used to be Genoa that I took money from. Genoa's now mine. Ottomans, obviously, but much of the coastline is now mine. At least the valuable bit of the coastline. And then Ethiopia, which is Coptic. Actually, can I raid Ethiopia? Am I still allied to Ethiopia? I think I probably am. Yes, I am still allied with Ethiopia, so no, I cannot raid their coastline. So, France, Castile, Papal States, and Ethiopia. And... whoa, what's just happened here? Oh, game disappeared. Oh, we're back. Yes, I will accept your calling in. So basically, Austria took out the Papal States. And it looks like the French armies have been losing too. Alright, interesting. Very interesting state of affairs. Oh, what the hell? Why do you keep minimizing? Stop that. What's going on here? I'm just seeing if there's any other tasks going on in the background which would cause EU4 to minimize, but no. Sometimes my printer says, hey, we need to do an update, but that'll usually minimize just the once. Future reference, the J in Slavic is pronounced like a Y in English. Okay. Donai Cry. Do the Knights have a Vicky 2 flag? No. But what the converter usually does, it just imports the flag from this. It's actually kind of fancy how it does it. It creates a mod based on the save game file, and then you're playing the mod, so it can import the flags and all of that stuff. Right, so where the devil are my armies right now? And why are you only at 25,000? I was reforming you. You have not enough infantry. Alright, so I'm going to reform you with mercenaries. So that will get you to 35, 45, 55. So you're going to be slightly bigger than intended, but that's fine. Then we've got a 50,000 stack down here, which we will send north, because we're going to fight here. But actually, all of the armies in the Papal States that are not exiled are going to be stuck behind my fort, so we have time to fight against them. The other thing we need to do is grab my transports and actually start shifting troops around. So where are you? You guys are in North Africa. You're still down in the Congo. Well, you can go and grab them. I feel like the army in the Congo should probably stay in the Congo. Also, there's a Dutch fleet out here, which I don't particularly fancy fighting with my transports. Where's my battle fleet? So these are the galleys. Austria doesn't have a coastline anymore, so there's not going to be an Austrian fleet. Which means the English and the Dutch might try to come through here, but that's unlikely because they will just get schooled. However, I do have a heavy fleet of my own, though they have taken a bit of damage, and they are only... wow, these are actually really old. Oh well, we'll send them there as well. So hopefully that can hold the entrance. Okay, here we go. Our heir, Johannes Fernandes, is now a sinner. Great. Hey, Cobra. Demon, you shouldn't need to make flags, simply because Victoria does them. The mod does them automatically. The time it was really nice that you did the flags was converting from CK2 to EU4, because then it's just a random flag. So having them specialised is good, but with Victoria it just copies the flag that's here. I think that's fine. Although, actually having them for, like, the fascists and the communists and stuff, yeah, those would be good. I don't know exactly when I'll do it, though. It's not going to be for, like, 3 weeks. And that's if I can get the converter working. Because I'm recording this week, then I'm away for, like, 2 weeks-ish. So I won't be doing it during that time, for sure. Because I don't want to start, like, a whole new series then. Ludovicus I and the Occitan people. Oh, well. Right, so I want to see their armies getting stuck on a fort somewhere. Then I can go and attack that. Alright, so we have 150,000 men here now. This is good. So what are we up against? Austria is on medium. Oh, Ethiopia joined on our side. Interesting. Wait, is France allied to Ethiopia as well? Oh, they are. We have, like, the same allies in common. This is really good, because it means that we're very unlikely to break these alliances. So they are allied to the Knights of the Papal State, Ethiopia. I'm allied to France, the Papal State, and Ethiopia. Is Ethiopia allied to the Papal State? That would be slightly more weird. No. They are, however, allied to Theodoro. Hence Theodoro is still alive. So I'm thinking that we probably need to get these 3 armies to attack into here. Are you coming north? You are. Alright, we'll wait until you hit one of my forts, and then we'll go and murder you. What is this war over? That's a good question. We need to take Vienna. Which is actually not impossible. What's your siege ability? Do we have anyone that's siege? Actually, yes. We have some really good generals. Let's go with you there. You there. And then you there. Okay. I'm going to send the mercenary army off to do the siege. And then we'll keep these 2 kind of here. You're attacking here. In fact, I think we're going to send 100,000 men after that. Because they are just stuck down there. Also speed 3. We're fighting a war. Did they run? They didn't. They're trying to run. The humbling of the Austrian forces. 124% discipline versus their 111. I have got plus 10% infantry ability, plus my army drill, plus my professionalism, plus my plus 20% artillery versus their no bonus infantry, no bonus artillery, no bonus cavalry. Oh dear. Yeah, this is a murder. This might even be a stack wipe. It was a stack wipe. Why are my armies so good? I genuinely don't understand why my armies are so strong. I have no reason for them to be this good. It's not something I've, like, purposefully built up. This is an offensive war. That's not what I meant. I meant ledger, relations, current wars. This is the French-Austrian imperialist war. We were the aggressor. So I think France just fancied some land. There are some very large armies up there. What? I have 100,000 men spare. I'll head over there. Did I get you lot? No. So you could have the 3rd army. Or 4th army even. Which we will ship over here and we'll have you reinforce the siege unit. Just in case they do bring back 100,000 men. Because I can muster that. Well, Austria can't, but their allies can. Maybe God wills your army to be good. Oh, it's that ridiculous Brabant leader again. I remember fighting him before. This is basically the previous war that I fought all over again, but this time France is on my side. And I caned them in that war. How are the navies shaping up? They have 86, actually. We have 86 heavies, they have 87. We have 616 lights against their 165. 86 galleys against their 14, so... Yeah, it would kind of require the French heavy fleet to properly do the damage here. Oh, of course, this is a colonial war too. Yeah, that might be France's true purpose.
Ready to serve, my lord.
Hey, Dawn Monster, thank you very much for the host. Welcome to all of Dawn Monster's followers and fans. I see the Blue Blob is doing well this game. Of course they are. They were allied to me like the entire game. That's not the reason for them doing well. But yes, they got lucky. They took Aragon early on. They personal unioned Aragon. I think, was there a succession war between them and Castile? There might have been. That's Burgundy dead. Why is this army so good? I don't understand this. I mean, I love it, but I don't understand it. Oh, hello. Even that Brabant army is just dying. What the hell? The Dutch are killing the Austrian army. That's another stack wipe. Dutch army is making a run for it. Ooh, we're about to catch them though. Caught them. And we're annihilating you as well. They've almost got as much discipline as me. This is purely troop ability, like drill and professionalism. And then just the amount of infantry combat. Stack wipe. They have 119% discipline. 119%! Which is huge under normal circumstances. So yeah, I guess God really is on our side. Must be. Speaking of God being on our side, do we need stability? We don't. Do we need anything else? Prestige we don't particularly need. We could go for the extra mercantilism. How have I never noticed this before? Claim Holy War, plus 15% manpower recovery. I have never noticed that one. Diplo-rep I knew about, yearly inflation interest I knew about, prestige I knew about, mercantilism I knew about, stability, and also the money, but I've never noticed this one. How's my manpower? Super low. You know what? I'll take the manpower recovery. Thank you. Show your policies and ideas. Okay. So we have got naval, economic, trade, quality, maritime and offensive completed, and religious and innovative not yet completed. Because we were slightly behind technologically. One of the things I have to say about the theocracies is their leaders tend to be utter garbage. I mean, you can go through them fairly quickly because you can just get them killed off, because there's no penalty if they're a general. But yeah, problems. And you can't, like, get rid of heirs or anything like that. However, we can up innovative. Actually, which one do we want? Religious or innovative? I'm not actually converting anything right now, so we don't need those religious ideas. I'm actually half tempted to just switch you out. And then the policies, we have got weapon quality standards plus 5 discipline, cloth quality edicts plus 20% trade efficiency, horse artillery plus 10% combat ability, statute of monopolies, trade efficiency, production efficiency plus 10%, and then the fortified trading post, which is even more trade efficiency and trade power abroad. I like my trade efficiency. I really like my trade efficiency. Have a pint on me. Thank you, Dara. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I will definitely have a drink on you. And in fact, I'm going to the pub. What day is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. I'm going to the pub on Thursday. One of my best mates' birthday. So yeah, I will have it then. Thank you. Crusader Universalis begins. I wonder if it's because I'm at war with someone who is not Catholic. Because Austria is Protestant. The Reformation happened and it was a really annoyingly good Reformation. Because, alright, so, annoying point of history in this particular game, Catholics had overwhelming strength for the League Wars, but half of us were locked out of it. Me, England, Spain, Ottomans, no. Were the Ottomans in? No, I think, yeah, all of us were locked out of it because we were in a separate war. So it was basically just France versus the whole of Germany. And, yeah, against that, even France can't win. It was really annoying, because otherwise the Protestant side was pathetic. My policies save money. Actually, that was one of the hilarious things. So when I was at ParadoxCon talking to Jake during the press event about EU4 talking about Dharma, and he said, okay, we've completely overhauled the policies because we found from our multiplayer and single player metrics that nobody ever picks policies other than military. Can anyone in this room put up their hand if they use policies which are not military? I was like, except for that guy. Nobody else. I don't see any hands up. I was like, me. I really like trade. I really like navies. So yeah, they're changing policies to not exactly enforce having a more varied selection, but to actually, the first policy you pick in every category is free, and then you get up to 3 policies in both, or in all 3, admin, diplo, and military. I think you can get up to 3 in each, so you can have up to, what's that, 9 policies, maybe even 12 policies. Like, you have a hell of a lot more customization options with how the policies work, because I really like the policy system, and they are making it even better. Like, I like what they're doing there. I'm excited about that. Actually, it's going to take Brabant. If nobody's already sieging it. It kind of looks like they're not. Ooh, free admiral. Don't mind if I do. Let's give you to the battle fleet. Oh, hello. There. The other guy I know is a high maneuver, and he's in the trade fleet. Currently stealing money from the French. Urbanization. While only a small portion of the population live in the cities, the growing prosperity of the bourgeoisie is attracting an increasing number of people in the countryside. Some cities are growing so quickly that the existing problems in terms of sanitation and overcrowding have gone from troubling to catastrophic, according to the bourgeoisie. The poor have taken up residence outside the city walls, where filthy suburbs have sprung up and disease thrives. The bourgeois find the situation intolerable and are now requesting the state step in to help provide in terms of resources and enforcement of the rules outside the walls. Only this way can the increasing urbanization actually lead to something good. So, we can pay 2,000 ducats, in which case we get 2 development. Or bad things. I will pay some of the money. Right, yeah, I was taking Vienna. I totally forgot I was taking Vienna. I have the other army just down here. You can go to pressing now. You can go to... Is that the only fort left? Oh, we'll just go over here then. Brabant is over, so Brabant should peace out fairly soon. I swear you're the only player of EU4 that thinks navies and non-military policies are worth the time. Yeah, I really do. And actually Johan, who was the lead dev of EU4 before Jake took over, also did. I had some really long conversations with him actually about naval power. And this was just after, this was last year, not this year, just after they introduced the fact that naval blockades now cause devastation. So you can really bring a country to their knees through naval blockades, kind of like how the British did against Napoleon. Just completely choke them. Brabant seems to be trying to raise the siege on Calais. I'm not sure I can allow that. Oh, damn it. It just succeeded. Oh, no, we caught them. Sack wipe? Not quite. Sack wipe! Ah! Wait. Oh, that was a trade fleet. That's fine.